On the 7th of November, the Department of Justice launched the Building Pathways Together Criminal Justice Reintegration Through Employment Strategy 2025-2027. Community Radio Castlebar was in attendance on the invitation of Speire Nua coordinator Damien Quinn. Developed by the Department of Justice in collaboration with the Irish Prison Service and the Probation Service, this strategy represents a concerted effort to address the challenges faced by individuals seeking to reintegrate into society post-incarceration. Through consultation with various government departments, agencies and individuals who have first-hand experience with the criminal justice system, this initiative aims to provide effective interventions and support for those striving to leave behind a life of offending and find stability through meaningful employment opportunities. Stay tuned as we get the thoughts of Damien and those who contributed to piecing together the strategy.
Great to be a part of today, to be honest. I would have linked into a number of the strategies previously, and the previous strategy, New Way Forward, and social enterprise strategy as well, which is working to change. They provided a lot of hope for me. And now today, with this criminal justice employment strategy, our idea with Speire Nua, validating people's commitment to change, developing certificates of commitment to change, that's actually a pillar. It's actually named in the strategy, which is massive. It's just the opportunities that this is going to open up for a lot of people it's just great to be a part of that. And I'm really grateful to the Department of Justice here for hearing us out. Our lived experience group came up, we spoke to them at length at a few different occasions, shared some ideas of what would make it easier to get on and reintegrate. And it's just fabulous to be a part of this today. And thanks to everybody that attended as well from Speire Nua too.
Those with lived experience such as Damien and our next contributor played a vital role in this piece of legislation.
Hello, my name is Ray Power. I'm a person with lived experience. I'm out of prison now about 3 years, and I've totally changed my life around. I've linked in with Damien from Speire Nua over the last 3 years, and he's been a great help with me. In Waterford City, I run a suicide intervention team in Waterford City, where we offer out-of-hours service for those that are in struggle. By doing this work, I can see that there's a huge need for helping and supporting lads that have come out of prison. That is what I do now in Waterford. I'm dedicated to helping lads that come out of prison and looking for a second chance.
We now hear from Joe Garrahy, an academic from Maynooth University who has dedicated his research to understanding the challenges faced by individuals with convictions as they seek employment. Joe's work focuses on identifying the barriers these individuals encounter and developing strategies to help them overcome these obstacles. Stay tuned as we hear Joe's thoughts on the morning's event.
So my name is Joe Garrahy. I am an academic in Maynooth University, so I specialise in criminology and prison research, and also access to opportunities to reintegrate after convictions. So a lot of my research in recent years focuses on how people have opportunities to gain employment if they have a criminal conviction in the recent or distant past, whether people with a conviction have opportunities to engage in higher education, and what the barriers are to block people from doing that, essentially. So we know that people who have convictions are stigmatized in our society, that often there are requirements to disclose convictions, even if it's not relevant to the job or the course they want to do. And we know that people with convictions really struggle and often are deterred from applying for educational courses or employment courses because they feel they'll be rejudged, they'll have to relive the worst elements of their past, and they don't have an opportunity to just move on and make a fresh start. We also have done research with employers and educators, and what we know is that people with convictions are often incredibly creative, innovative and useful staff and great team members. So therefore, when people are kept out of the employment sector, it's really hindering your company, our community more broadly, and it's certainly kind of putting people on the back foot who want to progress and move on with their lives and be contributing members of society. So what we did in recent years is we wrote a research report speaking with employers and people who have criminal convictions about their experiences of employment. One of the recommendations from that was to develop a toolkit, because employers were telling us that we don't know what we can and can't do. We don't need guidance in this space. So the toolkit was a very clear and concise guidance to tell them what their requirements are regarding Garda vetting, what their requirements are about disclosure, and what supports they can put in place to facilitate including people with convictions in their staff teams. We're very happy to note that today, with the launch of the pathway strategy, that many of our recommendations from the research are included in it, and it's great to see them in print and part of government strategy, because we really feel that they can massively improve this space and give people the opportunities that they not just should be given a second chance, but they deserve to live in our society. They've served their time, they've served their sanction, and it's not about doing people a favour, it's about giving them a chance to move on, which they've earned by the very fact that they're looking for employment and trying to move on and be part of our community.
Of course, without employers that are willing to embrace the idea of true inclusivity and giving people a second chance, academic research becomes redundant. Mr. Price, however, is one of those employers that have embraced inclusivity with both hands. Paul Rossbotham explains.
So my name is Paul Rossbotham. I am the Talent Development Manager for Mr. Price. I'm a new appointment in the team in our middle management structure. Mr. Price is a national retail chain of stores across the country, selling a variety of items from household, stationery, confectionery and seasonal goods. Mr. Price has been engaged in the inclusivity sector, in the employment with people with convictions sector, and in the education and training sector for a varied number of years. They're very committed to growing our inclusivity awareness. We're very committed to making sure that our company is as inclusive and as, supportive to people in our organisation. So we have a number of vacancies around the country. We value enormously the contribution that people who have come from various marginalised sectors of the community, the loyalty they show to us as employees, the creativity they show, the inspiration they show, and the culture that they create within the organisation, the ethos that they create within the organisation is one of inclusiveness, is one of can-do, and one that is responsive and quick to the needs of our stores, to the needs of customers, and responsive to supporting customers in the stores with regard to whatever queries they might have around purchase. The strategy we are involved in with others in the National Learning Network on an education side, with IASIO from the post-release people with convictions sector, with the Open Doors organisation, with As I Am from the autism spectrum. We are engaged with all of those agencies so as to create employment pathways for potential recruits, because Mr. Price has vacancies. We have 64 stores, so we've always got vacancies. It's a transitional type of employment sector, so there's always employment opportunities, and we look forward to continuing to roll out the strategy, and we look forward to developing further links both north and south. We're establishing a new distribution centre in Belfast, and again we were linking in with agencies on the ground who are social enterprise agencies, and also open prisons there to support people who are emerging from their prison sentence in Belfast.
There are supports out there for prisoners. IASIO is one of those support services. We talked briefly with Barry Owens from IASIO at the launch.
Part of that is about employment, training and education. In terms of the pathway strategy, we think we're very excited about it. There's great potential. The criminal justice system greatly needs it. There's a lot of people in prisons who would make excellent employees, and there's a lot of people who would really want the opportunity and could avail of it greatly. This pathways strategy brings everybody, both employers and people in prison, a step closer to that, and it is very welcome.
The Irish Red Cross is an organisation that people may be familiar with. However, they may not be familiar with their work in helping prisoners reintegrate into the workforce. Anthony Breen explains.
Hi, my name's Anthony Breen, and I'm the lead facilitator with the Prison Community Project for the Irish Red Cross. And the work that we do in the community it's a partnership with the probation service, and we deliver peer-led lived experience workshops around the country. So we're in the different regions. We're in the northwest, northeast, which is the Dublin region, southwest, which is Cork. So we're basically embedding around the country, delivering workshops with the probation clients. And we were here today at the Building Pathways Together, looking at reintegration through employment. The conference today was amazing. Honestly, hearing how progressive the people are in their approaches, and just the strategy around creating employment opportunities for people. Mr. Price was here, some of the amazing work that they're doing, creating employment opportunities for people with lived experience and who have been touched by the criminal justice system. Really inspiring. And then we had PACE and we had Speire Nua as well, who are also looking at implementing a leadership programme this year. And to see what's happening in the country it's sending out a new message. It's sending out a message of hope for people that, might have made mistakes in the past, might be struggling now to step into employment, and it's changing the narrative. It's creating it's opening those doors, and it's helping people to find their place within society. And it's thanks to the likes of Speire Nua, thanks to PACE, IASIO, all the different organisations that were here today, the probation service, the prison service, and also the Department of Justice. And to see how they're making a space for people and creating those opportunities, it's incredible, to be honest.
Another organisation that works on reintegration of prisoners is PACE. PACE works with people with criminal convictions to support them in moving away from offending behaviour and to enhance community well-being by reducing offending. Maggie Clune, CEO of PACE, gives her reaction to the launch of Building Pathways Together.
So my name is Maggie Clune. I'm the CEO with PACE, and PACE is an organisation that works with people who have criminal convictions. We're funded by the probation services primarily, and we work with people who are on community service, who right up to maybe life sentence prisoners. Our main goal is about reintegration or integration for people who have criminal convictions to securely and safely reintegrate back into the community, and we do that by providing training, work, employment and housing for those who are homeless coming out of prison. For some men who are homeless coming out of prison, if we could solve the homeless issue for everybody coming out of prison, we'd be delighted, but we've a small residential service that assists some people who are homeless coming out of prison. So I was asked here today really because of my role in social enterprise and how social enterprise fits into the whole employment protective factor for people with criminal records. And social enterprise really is a stepping stone, that's the way I would see it, for people who maybe have been out of the labour market for a long time, whether that's because they've been in prison or what other issues they have, maybe like housing or addiction. What social enterprise does is it's a safe place to come and work and learn all those skills again. Sometimes it is for the first time. How to be in a team, work as part of a team, as simple as coming to work on time, getting up, getting on the right bus, giving yourself enough time to get to work, getting into all those really good habits, and then coming to work and performing, and working an 8-hour day with 15 minutes for a cup of tea in the morning and a half an hour, 40 minutes for lunch. So it's really just getting back into the whole swing of being employed. And what we see then is for people that have been out of the labour market for a long time is really about confidence and self-esteem, and coming to us to learn all of the skills that I just mentioned. We can see people transform, and we do see it on a daily basis, transforming from being, I suppose, having no confidence and not speaking up or not giving your opinion to, after time, giving your input into maybe how the design of a product or how to deal with a customer, or just even the simple things of being the person in the team that motivates other people. So it's those kind of skills that social enterprise also has, the softer skills. Today we've launched the new strategy for employment that's come out from Department of Justice, and there's a few key things in it that I think are really important. Firstly is that the people who have been long-term unemployed as a result of a criminal record, they're no longer under probation, or they haven't been to prison ever maybe, but their criminal record affects them. So they're included in this strategy, I think, for the first time. And like we know from research, certainly like people like the IPRT have research that demonstrates that, there's people out of the workplace 10 years more. And it's because of something that they did over 10 years ago. It could be a minor conviction, but it's still holding them back. They still see it as a barrier to work. So that's one of the things that I'm really happy about with this strategy.
The main point to take away from the event is that people with lived experience must play a vital role in creating the future pathway forward. We now hear from another Speire Nua member, Sheehan, talk about his lived experience. Sheehan didn't want to be filmed.
Well, when I come out of jail, I got out on a bank holiday weekend on a Saturday, and I had no access to any amenities, just out the door. So on a Tuesday of Halloween, I went to my local community welfare officer looking for a bit of help, money-wise, and I was given €100. I sent this a visit to Paul. That was my lot. So I thought to myself, what do I do now? So I remember sitting in a cell, and I heard about working to change. So I googled that, and I rang Siobhan. And lo and behold, Siobhan put me in contact with Speire Nua, and that was the turning point for me. That gave me the hope that I was hoping for to get out. So I've been involved with Speire Nua since then. That's now nearly 3 years. And I have to say, it's opened up a lot of opportunity to me, a lot of opportunity. It's certainly shown me what I can achieve when I put my mind to it. Now, I've got into education through the Education Training Board, e-college, which is another thing. And I've gradually worked my way into a position where I can actually start applying for jobs that will benefit me in the future. Now, I don't know. That's where I'm at the moment. Now I'm down here now for today's talk to see how that's going.
Can you tell us what you thought of pathways?
Yeah, it was interesting, I have to say. It's certainly definitely going in the right direction. I really enjoyed the Mr. Price talk. I thought he had it nailed down, the whole point about how you go for an interview, how it's done through WhatsApp. I like that there, because it means then you don't have to go out and try and find clothes for an interview, or are you too smart, or it takes away the pressure of how do you get there for an interview. I just liked everything he had. I just liked the whole ethos of what Mr. Price had to say, and I wish more employers would be the same, because it's hard to disclose your conviction. It brings up so much stuff, and I just like the way he was doing it. I just like that, and it's a good strategy. Now, if they bring more people on board, it's one thing that threw me was that there's companies that do employ people with convictions, but they don't put themselves above the parapet to say they do that. I find that a bit strange, and I wondered how we, as ex-prisoners with convictions, how do we get in contact with them companies? How do we know what they're looking for? So I'm hoping maybe they'll link in with Speire Nua, and Speire Nua can put people who are linked in with them and put them in contact with. That's what I'd hope. But yeah, it seemed it's a strategy. I suppose it's a start.
And do your own lived experience of trying to get work with a conviction and trying to get the educational requirements to get that employment. How difficult has that been for you?
Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. You can sign up with fetch.ie, and they don't care about your convictions. You can engage with the ETB, the Education Training Board. You can go in there. Now, you can pick a course, and you can basically just do that course, and you can get that qualification. Or you can go through, if it's not what you want, you can do online courses through e-college. But I find that there's so much more out there. Like you've Cisco, you've got Google. These are certs that you can do for free that are recognised by employers, that are skills-based, not just taking A, B, C, D question. They're skills-based, which is going to be a big help, which is definitely helping me, because you're looking at something different, and that's what employers want, because we're up against it. We're up against it. There's no denying that. So we have to be somewhere different. So we have to think differently to other people who are looking for a job. But I would say, think about what you want to do realistically. Have a look at what's out there and pick what suits you time-wise, what suits you availability-wise. Because when you get out after doing a long stretch, there's so much stuff at you. Like people, new food, smells, temptations, trying to find accommodation, trying to navigate money that just does not go anywhere. So realistically, you just can't go full tilt into education, because there's just too many other things. Old habits, old people, new people, so much different stuff. It's just so much to take on that give yourself time, realistically, and look at it as if to say, well, if you go to college for 3 years to get a degree, then you can do different courses. It might take you 3 years. If that's what it takes you to get where you want to be, take your time and do that, because it's not going to be easy. Some people can walk into jobs depending on what they do, what their convictions are. Other people have different convictions, and there's definitely a tiered approach to that. So be realistic to yourself and pick what you want to do and just go study it, because better sitting looking at four walls. That's what I say.
In conclusion, we reflect on the true meaning of inclusivity, an often cited term in today's conversations, yet rarely extended to those with previous criminal convictions. Here, the work of Damien and Speire Nua stands as a beacon of change, striving to improve the lives of individuals with criminal backgrounds and, by extension, society at large. Building pathways together shines a light on the vital contributions of those with lived experiences. It is a significant step towards embracing and harnessing the potential of all members of our community, including those who were previously excluded from shaping our collective future. We would like to thank all those that contributed to this programme. You can find out more about Speire Nua on their website, speirenua.org. This programme was funded by Coimisiún Meán under the Sound and Vision Social Benefit Round 52.